So how much time do each of you spend on social media each day? And how often do you see an interesting story that you click on to find more information about? You may or may not realize that when you click on these stories and you read and share them, that we are actually most likely sharing a lie that is lining the site owner's pockets. So an example of this would be a story like this. It says, dog saves abandoned newborn. So it sounds very interesting. People like dogs, people like babies. So you want to click on it to find out more information about the story. Well, what happens is, when you click onto the story, usually you'll read part of the story, and you go down to the bottom of the page, and then you have to click next to find out more about the story. Every time that you click next to go to another part of the story, you are usually passing an ad. And what happens is every time you pass an ad and you click next, you're putting money into the account of the site owner. The reality is that the story that you read for truth is probably not truth at all. It was probably just a lie to draw you in to make them money. In some cases like this one, it's just harmless entertainment, but this is not always true, especially during the presidential elections. Site owners take an opportunity during this time to use everyone's support for their candidate and their emotions about issues to just make themselves money. And LegalZoom explains that our First Amendment rights prevent censorship. So people have the freedom to post things online if it's a false idea, even if it is a controversial one. We cannot have censorship. So this is taken advantage of by the site owners to create what is called clickbait. So during the elections, there may be a company, and this single company may own several different sites. It may own a conservative site, a liberal site, and maybe even a Christian site. And the company will take one story, and it will take the clickbait headline, and it will change it according to the group that it is targeting. So the clickbait will appeal to each group. And the story may have little or no truth again, but they're marketing lies to the public, and at the same time they're running up their advertising revenue. So there's a man whose name is Filippo Megzinder, and he is a professor of information and computer science. And he also runs a fake news trafficking site that's called hoaxy.com. So what he says about this is, he said, those people who generate this kind of fake news, that they don't care about politics. They just care about generating clicks, and they generate similar messages for the left and for the right. In some cases, the spread of information is just for the sole purpose of political gain. So you could have a supporter of a candidate, and he can easily mislead gullible, uninformed supporters in the direction that he'd want to. So there's a site called theeconomist.com, and on this site it says that 37% of online readers believe that social media news is true. So there's a Russian organization that is called the Internet Research Agency, and they use social media over the presidential election to turn the people in our country against one another. The New York Times posted some of the ads that the Russian organization posted. So this one right here, the headline is, "Police start clearing the streets for rioting anti-Trump protesters." All right, then the next one, it says here, "Who is behind the mask? A man, a woman, a terrorist?" And these are all from Russia. This is something, it says heritage, not hate, the South will rise again. And what Russia did is they took all this clickbait, and they weren't even trying to promote anything. They would, in one ad, they would promote Trump, and then in the next ad, they would tear him down. And they did the same thing with Hillary. And the whole purpose was just to turn the American people against each other. So, if you see a story that fits your ideas, it might be the ideas of your party, or it may be against the opposite party, and you have a desire to read it and you have a desire to share it, there's a lady that's called Claire Wardle, and she's from Solutions About Trust and Truth in the Digital Age, and she says that people like to share what makes them feel good. Well, if what we read causes us to be angry, should we really share it? I mean, if we share the information without knowing if it is the truth or if it is a lie, then we are actually part of the problem. So, the answer to this problem is that we need to go online. When we see an ad, before we share it, we need to go online. We need to use different sources. We need to check the facts, not be gullible. There are fact-checking sites online, but most of them are even biased. So the reality is, the best thing to do is to investigate yourself. Go on different sites. Check the information. See if it seems plausible. See if it seems real. Investigate before you share. Be informed and be smart. Be part of the solution, not part of the problem. Thank you.